Hey, what's going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with another episode of the SITREP. And tonight, my special guest is David from Smith's Super Awesome Reviews. David, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Hey, I'm always good, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, friend.
Excellent. Well, I enjoy having you on. David was one of the very first YouTubers I ever met when I started doing this. And I actually did a live show with you and your group from the sanctuary. That was my first live show. Granted, I really didn't know what was going on. I just mainly sat in the background and nodded my head the whole time. But times have changed. I'm going to flip the script on you now.
Hey, man, I was waiting for you to start doing the live show, man. You gotta get up with us, man. I think it's fun to do. You meet new people. You get to kind of get out of your comfort zone and talk about, see where other people are at as figure-wise, especially like Transformers. So it's always a good thing to do every now and then. To switch it up.
It's fun because I've been amazed from the people that I've met just doing YouTube. You wouldn't think you would meet people like the way we do. And fortunately, with technology and able to talk like this, it's pretty cool because there's nobody around where I live that I could sit down and talk toys with.
Likewise, that's probably why I do about 3 or 4 different live shows on different channels, because it's like I talk about this stuff at my job and it goes like right over their heads, but I can talk to someone on here and they're like, I say something, they know what I'm talking about.
When you did that, yeah. I just noticed your headgear. Look down, show. That is sweet. That is
sweet. It gets even better. It gets better.
Oh, so you can change your mood.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, before we get going on, tell my people a little bit about you.
Well, like you said, my name is Smith. I have a channel called Smith Super Awesome Reviews. I mostly do Transformers, but I do other things like gameplay, review, Marvel Legends. I do model kits. Right now it's Turtle Week, so I'm reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But for the main part, Transformers is my bread and butter because I live that life. You got Prime tattooed on you. I'm a official member of the Autobots.
You got to back up. There you go. Nice.
Yeah, I've been branded. I'm one of the human operatives, always looking up the Decepticons. But yeah, basically just I do YouTube. I enjoy doing reviews. Transformers is something that, like you, I grew up on. I'm a product of the '80s, so it's all I know. Outside of wrestling, Transformers is probably the second thing I know the most.
And we'll get into that in a minute because I know you're starting a new wrestling channel too, but that'll go into my YouTube questions. Now, for those of you familiar with the SITREP, and David, I know I kind of gave you a heads up of what I'm going to ask. I ask my guests 10 questions. The first 5 is regarding Transformers, and the last 5 is regarding YouTube. So starting with question number 1, what is the appeal of Transformers for you?
I would have to say, basically, it was always just a thing of robots transforming into human machinery, the science fiction of it all, the mythology, especially when I started reading the comics. It kind of took it a step further than what the cartoons did. And you read the comics and you see that they had so much characters to them. There was so much nuance to everybody that it just spoke to me. It was just like, come on, who doesn't want their car to turn into a robot? Like, come on, I'm still waiting for that day. Like, every car I've ever owned, I've given it a name. And I sit there, like, if you see my car right now, I got Transformer stuff all over it. The wheels got an Autobot symbol. I got a Transformer floor mat, my license plate. I'm looking for stickers to smack on the back of the window.
Do you have a cigarette lighter with an Autobot logo on it?
Do not, because I don't smoke.
I don't either, but I had to get that in there. Excellent. All right, sir. Number 2, aside from G1, which is always the number 1 answer, what is your favorite TF fiction? Aside from G1.
A few of them. Comic books, especially old Marvel. I like the stuff that IDW is doing. And outside of G1, would say Transformer Prime. pretty good. Like, I think out of all of the cartoons, like I've watched them all. Yeah, some are hit or miss. I think Transformers Prime did the best job of retelling the story for a modern era without, dumbing it down for a lot of people. Like, it definitely gave a deep story, kind of taking off from the Bayverse, which I don't really want to talk about, but it put it in the right direction. So yeah, I would say that was probably my favorite outside of G1, of course.
What's funny about Prime, I have the entire series on Blu-ray, is when that series starts, you can tell it's geared toward the adults because remember how dark it was? I mean, it starts right off with them killing Cliff Jumper, and then you had the zombies, which I didn't really dig that. I thought zombies is way overused, but then as the story progressed, it kind of made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely started at a dark tone, and I'm like, same thing. I thought like this can't be for kids because we're already like 5 minutes in, and it's already taking a dark turn. So it's like, yeah, okay. But I like it. Like I said, characters, the computer animation looked good. It wasn't, like I said, it was a modern look, but not sloppy. You knew who each character was when you see it, like especially like when they started bringing in other characters like Ultra Magnus and Wheeljack. You looked at him like, oh yeah, that's Wheeljack.
And not to mention, you got Michael Ironside voicing Ultra Magnus. Now I'm an old school Michael Ironside fan. Do you remember V with the lizard people?
With the lizard people?
Freaking Ham Tyler, man, love that.
That was a classic made-for-TV movie. Come on now.
God, that freaked me out so much when I was a kid and she ate that guinea pig. Looks fake as hell now.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Do you have a favorite figure or grail, one that you will never let go of? Say you have to sell your collection. Do you have that one figure, you don't care what happens, that one is never leaving your possession?
Oh my God, when I saw your questions earlier when I read them, I'm like, this one's tough because one, the answer will change, and two, there's so many that if God forbid, knock on wood, if my house is catch on fire, I'd be that guy with a handful of things just like, save the Dinobots, save the Dinobots. I got so many. Right off the top of my head, I would say it's got to be Prime, FB10, and Megatron. And if I can find a box big enough, I'd probably take the Dinobots and this guy right here, Galvatron, because he's just the best Galvatron ever.
Oh, that's nice. Which one's that?
This is Fans Toys. Now, I'll take this to my grave that if Takara was to make one, I wouldn't even bother thinking about it because he right now is the definitive. He has, if you're talking about cartoon accurate, this guy checks all the boxes. I mean, from back to front, he is legit. Nice. Yeah, he's a legit Galvatron. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I take it third party plunge.
Trying to make it, I'm just like pass. Like keep your money. I'm not. I got my definitive Galvatron right there. So yeah, those would probably be him, Grimlock, FB10, and Masterpiece Megatron would probably be the grails that would have to come with me.
So a lot of people's houses, they'll have that little sticker for the fire department that says, I have X amount of dogs in the house, I have X amount of cats. You need to have one made to say, I have a Transformer collection. Hit that room first. It's the room to the left.
I've got homeowners insurance just for that. Okay.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I've literally got homeowners insurance. Like every other month, I'm updating the photo just so like in case we covered. So, and I'm like, listen, keep your money. Just I need the replacements. Keep the money. Just replace them, please.
All right, my friend. So kind of going with that, number 4 is what figure is your white whale? What is the one figure you would love to have? This is your most wanted toy. Now, this is from any era. This is from 84 to right now. Which one would you that is the one. If you would get this toy, you could be done with collecting.
Right now, it would be Insecticons, and it's the Fans Toys Insecticons because right now, my goal is to complete G1 completely. So all Masterpiece, third party, the They all have that similar size, scale, look. And I'm almost complete with the Autobots. I'm halfway there with the Decepticons. I'm just missing
Now, are
like
you talking
reflectors.
masterpiece figures, or are you talking the original G1 toys?
Oh, I got the original G1s.
Okay.
I need the masterpiece ones to go, you know, with my Decepticon army. Now, I'm missing Reflector, which I'm getting soon, but there was one made by Fans Toys, which was probably, in a lot of people's opinion, the best design of the Insecticons, especially with the G1 look. But they're sold out. Like, you can't get them anywhere. Like, you could try eBay, but they're charging, you know, off the roof prices. So it's like, it's one of those things, like, when I had the opportunity, I didn't jump on it because it's like I chose to buy another figure instead. So now it's kind of haunting me, like, why didn't I buy them? And I can't find them. They haven't been reissued.
Are these the bombshell shrapnel and kickback Insecticons? Okay.
Yes.
I know, didn't they make a version of the deluxe Insecticons too?
There's certain third parties that have, yeah.
Okay.
They have. But I'm trying to get and those are still available, but I'm trying to get the first three just to kind of fill that G1 cast lineup, you know, season 1, season 2. Like, I just got some Headmasters here, Hardhead, got a Chrome Dome. So, like, I'm trying to complete the entire from season 1 to season 4. And luckily, there's a lot of third parties that make masterpiece scale figures. Since Takara's, like, you know, sleeping on the job.
They're too busy making the same figure over and over again.
What they make is, oh, we won't make these people because they're not popular. But how are they not popular? Because when the third party makes them, they sell. So what are you saying? Like, you're talking crazy. If Takara was to make a Jazz right now, you really tell me no one's gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Come on, don't miss me with that nonsense.
I'd love to see a masterpiece Cyclonus. That was always one of my favorite figures.
Again, and so far, 2 companies have made pretty spot-on G1 Cyclonuses that sold very well. And it's like I just said, where's Galvatron? You telling me that if Takara was to make a Galvatron, they're gonna tell me nobody would buy it? I don't buy that. They just don't want to take the risk.
Somebody somewhere is pulling the purse strings.
No, they find it's easier to just give repaints of the same molds they already have than come up with new IP.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Money. All right, number 5. This is my last Transformers question for you. Who is your favorite Transformer character from any fiction or any media?
Grimlock.
Which version?
Grimlock.
Like cartoon, comic?
Grimlock is, I say Grimlock is the prototype for a lot of cartoon characters started off just kind of a brute, but then slowly progressed into a dumbass.
Well, especially in the cartoon.
I call it the Eric Matthews syndrome. You remember Boy Meets World? It's where a character starts off just basic, and then slowly but surely just becomes a dumbass. You know, you got it with Homer Simpson. You got it with Peter Griffin. Then they started out just simple dudes, and then slowly just became serious dumbasses.
Randy Marsh.
Yeah, and that's Grimlock, because Grimlock started off just a badass, and then slowly became a dumbass.
Now, I'm going to make this a little harder for you. You said G1 Grimlock, but there was a big difference between G1 cartoon Grimlock and G1 comic book Grimlock. If you remember, the
G1 comic book Grimlock was a badass and stayed a badass to the point of becoming leader of the Autobots. Yeah, those are 2 different worlds. Yeah, the comic Grimlock is night and day compared to the cartoon. Grimlock didn't take no mess from nobody. And that's why nowadays every Grimlock you get comes with a crown.
Yeah.
Because of the comic book Grimlock.
And a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, him and Blaster used to be at it all the time.
That's the same way a lot of people don't realize, you know, Shockwave ran the Decepticons, Bludgeon. There was a lot of people outside of Megatron running the Decepticons for a good period of time.
The comic book, G1, The G1
Yeah.
comic book was ridiculous with Decepticons. If you think about it, Megatron was the leader for like 6 issues. Then Shockwave
Yeah.
took over. Then Megatron committed suicide. Then you get
Yeah.
Ratbat takes over the
Oh,
Decepticon.
yeah. Not about Ratbat.
And
Yeah.
then it was Scorponok, Thunderwing, and Bludgeon finally at the end.
And don't forget, Starscream got the ultimate power and just killed everybody.
Yeah,
So,
issue 50.
Yeah, so it's definitely, like I said, that was the part of it, like back to the first question, that really appealed to me, that it wasn't just clear cut, this is the hero, this is the villain, this is the leader. It was like, no, like the cartoon's just giving you the crib notes. You read the comic and it's like, it's a deeper story than what you've seen on TV. It's like, wow, like, yeah, there's a lot of nuance there. So
I try to push the Generation 1 comic book as I try to push that Generation comic book as much as I can, because it was originally kind of passed off as kiddie fare. But then it grew with us. I remember I picked it up, issue number 3, and I read it all the way through high school. I think they quit issue 80 in 91, if I'm correct. And it was amazing how it grew with you. I mean, the stories got so much deeper.
You got to thank Bob Budiansky for that, man. He gave it life, and thankfully for us, the man had a bit of an imagination, because remember, we're getting products that were just Japanese toys with no personality.
Yeah, they were just recycling.
Yeah, from the Micromances and the Diaclone. He took that, and like I said, we wouldn't have a Megatron, we wouldn't have a Prime, we would have none of that. So I bow to the great Budiansky, because, like I said, we wouldn't have none of that without him and Stan Lee. Just legends.
I mean, that's how I was introduced to Transformers. I didn't find them via a toy. I found them via the comic book. I was getting down at the local drugstore with my dad one day. He said, "Get you a comic book." It was like 75 cents. There's this issue with Spider-Man webbing up this giant robot. Remember cover issue 3? That's what brought me into the world of the Transformers. So, loved it. All right, here we go with YouTube questions. Here's where you're going to kind of promote yourself and why you do what you do. Number 6. What possessed you, a grown-ass man, to do toy reviews?
Honestly and truthfully, I think it was when I realized that I wasn't the only one. Because you think about it, like, before I really got into YouTube, like, I always collected, but kind of at a small degree, because, again, like I said, when you talk to people on the outside, it just kind of goes over their head. And then I got on YouTube, and it was one of those moments where I had a figure, and I had trouble transforming it, so, you hit the internet, and it points you to a YouTube video, and it's like, I started watching, I think it was actually MGO. And then it was just one of those things like, oh, I like the video, and I just kind of went down that rabbit hole, and then you get the recommended, and then I'm like, so I'm not alone. I'm thinking I'm an army of one here, and lo and behold, there's a whole community. So I'm like, okay. And then once I kind of got the idea of what to do with it, I was like, okay, I want to show my love of Transformers to someone like your son, to express. Here's something that, to keep this franchise going, there has to be another generation. So I want to show people like, hey, this might be something you're into, especially, that's also how I got to other figures like Marvel Legends. I watched the video and I was like, this is something I like. I didn't know they had this. Let me take a look at it. And now I got Marvel Legends on the side of the Transformers, and I just wanted to say, hey, this is out here for us. This is a franchise that has literally stood the test of time.
Yeah, going on 35 years this year. 35 years
old. It is in the top 10 of top selling franchises, and it's still going to this day. And it's basically telling the same story. Two warring factions on a planet called Cybertron, looking for new resources of energy, and somehow they find their way here to Earth. It's literally Shakespeare.
Yeah.
At this point.
considering a story like that is still relevant this day and age when there's so much tension. It just amazes me. Of course, we're not going to go into that. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah. We ain't got that kind of time.
No, we do not. I don't want to lose any subscribers.
We won't do that, man. We won't do that.
All right, number 7. So you kind of hinted why you do the YouTube. What keeps putting you in front of that camera?
2 things. Like I said, I enjoy doing it, but I think I've said this to you and I've said this to anybody willing to listen. With or without YouTube, there's always going to be Transformers in this house. So that's not even an issue. Like, some people get into it just to try to get fame or get money, and that's fine. You know, to each his own. Like I said, with or without it, if YouTube was to shut down today, I'd still have Transformers coming in the mail, regardless. But it was just one of the things that is kind of 2 years ago, my mother was sick and she had passed away. And one of the things I had told her, because she knew how much I love Transformers. You know, she took me to go see the first, Transformers movie back in '86. I was 6 years old. I remember it. When the Michael Bay movies came out, she was the first person to call me to ask me if I knew they were making a Transformers live action. I'm like, yes, Mom, I'm well aware, because she knew how much I loved Transformers. So, before she passed, I had told her that, I'm making this channel, I'm going to do it about Transformers. And she just said, have fun, be truthful, just do what you love, and you should be fine. My only regret is she never got to see my channel. So, but other than that, I know she's my #1 subscriber. So like, I do part of that kind of in her memory. So I'm sorry.
Hey man, that's perfectly fine. That's your mom you're talking about.
That's why I do it. And again, like I said, it was something I loved. It was something we shared. Like, she knew. Like, not a lot of people knew that about me, but she knew. Like I said, that's how much, like, we were close. Like, soon as like the word came out they were making that live action, she called me. She's like, Davey, do you know they're making a live action movie of Transformers? And I said, yeah. And we went to go see it together, the whole family. We all went to go see it, and she's like, what'd you think? And I'm just like, it was okay. It could have been better, but it was okay. But it was just one of those memories I don't forget. She took me to see my first one, and we got to go see the first live action together. So it's like one of those things like I'll never forget.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
That's why I do YouTube. So
thanks for sharing that. That's I had no idea. That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah. Right. It's not I talk about that much, but it is. Like I said, when I do a video, I think about her, because it's like, damn, I wish she could see this right now. She would be amazed to see my collection right now, because she knew how much I love Transformers.
Well, you've got an amazing collection. You've got an amazing personality. Like I said in the beginning, you're one of the first people I met, and you and I just kind of clicked like that. From completely different worlds.
I always say good things for you, man. I was like, man, this guy's cool, man. He's one of us, especially not just in the collecting community, but just as a Transformer head. I'm like, Patriot Prime is one of us, man, and that's why I'm happy. Like, the channel does so good. I always been like, if one of us does good, we all do good, because our community doesn't seem to get that much respect. Because there are those people.
We're man-childs.
You say man-child, but it's like, if you look at the YouTube in a whole, and I don't want to get off in too long of a tangent, but they always talk about they want things that are marketable. That's what we do, is market other people's products. Mm-hmm. So how we make something that you would gravitate towards? Like, there's many companies out there that make toys that you would think, like, hey, there's a whole subsection of our platform that's all they do. If you look at some of the bigger YouTubers, they get pre-samples, they get stuff from toy companies to review before they come out. So how are you not embracing that? So, like I said, my goal this year was like I want to see a toy YouTuber in the rewind, because that to me represents YouTube. And I'm like, I don't care who it is, because like I feel, like I said, if one person wins, we all win. We all win. You
Yeah,
know, and
now that you mentioned that, remember back in the day we would always see all these Transformer toy commercials? You don't see
yeah,
that anymore because we are their advertisements now.
yeah, we're selling their
Yep.
products. Like you might see a handful. Like I'm subbed to a Hasbro YouTube channel, and they'll show their commercials that they'll promote for like a couple items or whatever they got, Siege. But it's not like you see them back in Saturday morning cartoons or television now. It's few and far between. But like I said, you go to any YouTuber, and we're out here just free promotion. So,
spending our money to do it too.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I get nothing from this. No one sends me any product. Like I said, I spent money for this. No one gave this to me, and I'm gonna put it together and I'm gonna review it. And if it's good, I'm gonna give it good praise. If it's not, I'm gonna tell you it's not. That's how I do things.
Do what I do. Just toss it over your shoulder.
That was it.
Grant, I'm gonna do that one of these days and break something. All right.
There's no skin in the game, so I try to be honest with my reviews. If something's wrong with it, I'm gonna say. That's it.
And I think that's very important to do. I mean, if we're going to spend that money, especially the way the prices are going up on the figures, I'd like to know, am I going to drop retail price on it, or will I wait till it goes on clearance?
Yeah.
That's
well, unfortunately, right now, with collecting, it seems like it's not how it used to be, where something doesn't sell, it'll go on clearance, because nowadays everything just gets, with scalpers and online, there's barely anything out there anymore. Like I go to Target or Walmart, it's a desert right now.
The only option I have is a Walmart. I was there 2 days ago. Their Transformer section consisted of one Siege figure, which was SkyTread, one Premier Edition Deluxe, which was the Lockdown Soldier, Shadow Raider, probably 10 of the $50 Optimus Primes, and
I got a bunch of that mine too. No one's touching them.
A bunch of those vinyl transfers. That was it.
$50 and no trailer. Like, come on. I'm all for nostalgia, but that's ridiculous. No
what surprises me is the people that are rushing out and buying it. I mean, but hey, to each their own. That's what keeps Hasbro in business. Is they make the money, they'll keep making the figures.
Right now and get a G1 Prime with a trailer for $50. Like for real. Like no. Pass.
All right, buddy. Well, let's keep rolling here. We will go to question number 8. There are thousands of YouTube toy reviewers. What makes you different from the rest?
Well, that's easy. I mean, I definitely feel like I have my own personality. I have my own way of reviewing things, just like everybody. Everybody's got their own style, depending on. I mean, most of us are just disembodied voices with hands, touching figures. That's a dime a dozen. But how you present yourself, how you address it, how you edit your videos, how you put it together, your intro. And me, like I said, I have no. No one's sponsoring me. No one's paying me to review these. Like I said, I've reviewed figures and I've given it ultimate praise. I've reviewed figures and it's garbage. I'm going to say it's garbage. Like, even if I spent X amount of dollars, I'm going to tell someone, don't. Like, my main thing is, if you need it and you can't wait for someone else to make it, then you're going to roll the dice and get it. But if you can wait, save your money. Because a lot of figures I bought because I was impatient. I couldn't wait. So, I had to get it.
I've been there too.
And after sitting there for a couple of days, transforming it, playing with it, and then come to find out, like, you know what, I'm not happy with this, then yeah, I'm gonna express my opinion, especially with Transformers. I do the type where I review it, I transform it. If there's a problem in the transformation, I'm gonna speak on it. Because I don't want someone else to come along and be like, damn, Dave, why ain't say nothing? No, I'm going to tell you why. If there's a problem, if there's something that this has a potential to break, or did it break, or did I have to break it just to transform it, I'm going to say it. Because it's like, no, these things cost too much money. for me to sit there and pander to you and be like, oh, this thing is fantastic. No, it's not. It's good. If it's good, it's good. If it's good, but there's this problem here, I'm going to say it. You know, so I know there are reviewers that, you know, tend to try to be honest, and then there are those who are just shill. You know, I don't want to say names, but there are those who literally shill, and they know this. They know they're pushing an inferior product. But yeah, okay, with the Dinobots, the Volcanicus, with that, when I did the upgrade kit video, I said it, like I said, if there wasn't an upgrade kit, I would have never bought that, because that is the ugliest looking combiner I've ever seen.
That's true.
Okay.
Mine are all individual bots over there. I transformed it once.
And the individual bots aren't that good either. They're passable if you can't find better Dinobots or G1 Dinobots, but they're average at best. And like I said, that combined mode, whoever was in the, you know, design factory must have been hitting something really hard to think that was passable. But I bought it because I knew we live in a day and age, especially with Transformers, no one's going to make an upgrade kit. I was like, okay, I'll buy this because I know someone's going to fix this. And sure enough, they did. And I now look at it, I'm standing here looking at it right now. It's night and day. I don't know if you ever saw the video, but it's night and day. Like, wow, that's a good looking figure now. But just like I said, just with the Abominus. Now I've seen the Abominus combined. It's okay, but it could be better. That's why I got the upgrade kit, because this is going to make it worth the purchase.
And you're going to do a full review on that, right?
I'm going to do a whole put it together, yeah, on camera, man.
So there you go, guys. If you subscribe to David's channel, you'll be able to see that upgrade set review. I know I'm going to be watching.
Like the Predakin, like I literally have not taken them out of package yet. They're still, all of them are still in package because I have not touched them until this upgrade kit got here. So when I do that, they're going to get unboxed. I'm going to kind of give a quick review on the figures. I'm going to combine it without the kit, and then I'm going to combine it with the kit. So it's going to get the full treatment.
No, I look forward to that, because I've got mine. They're watching me up there.
Oh, you got that Combiner War Devastator? Did you ever get the upgrade kit for that?
I did not. I've got the toy hack sets for them. The only real upgrades I've bought recently is I upgraded my what was Metroplex? What line was he? The Giant Titan Metroplex. Thrilling 30. Thrilling 30.
Yeah, he's Thrilling 30.
He's got a new head and weapons. And I've got third-party upgrade sets on my Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon, so he looks more like a skeleton. Most of my upgrade kits are just weapons. I haven't really bought into any of the big ones yet.
Well, see, I don't really do the upgrade kits that much. I only do it for the combiners because, like I said, Hasbro's combiners lack a lot. Like, I applaud them for doing a lot more than what we had in G1, like when we were kids, but it's still like ever saw a Combined Wars Minosaur. That was
blue.
That was god awful.
He was nothing but legs and a chest.
Yeah, that was horrible. Now, unfortunately, I never got the upgrade kit for that one. The only thing I was able to get was new hands and new feet. It helped keep them stable, but I was still like, if I could find they had a new chest piece, a new head and everything. If I could find that, I'm going to get it. But yeah, I only do upgrade kits mostly for the combiners because they're the ones to me need the most attention because
they're the ones that stand out the most on the shelf. I mean, you can look over here and you can tell. I mean, they're the ones that just pop because one, they're so big and they're so colorful because all the mismatched robots.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I did an upgrade kit for Defensor again. That Combiner War was okay. But when you give it the upgrade kit, it's like, wow, it's like it's an all new figure. It really is. It's a new figure when you give it a little more attention and a little more love. It's like, wow, like it's amazing. Like why couldn't you do this right in the first place?
That's kind of me with the toy hacks. If you see how I am with these toy hacks,
that Volcanicus was god awful. I would never. I would have, like I said, if they didn't make it, I would have never bought it. Never, because I got Dinobots already. I got perfectly good Dinobots to scratch that itch, check that box. But I was always curious about, a combiner Dinobot. That's interesting. But when I saw that original, I'm like, what is that? Why is his shoulder like what? Like this?
It looks like those dudes I used to go to the gym with. They said ILS syndrome, inflated lats.
Yeah, but the body was like his frame and his body mass was unproportioned. So your shoulders go out to here, but you're thin in the waist. It was just like, stop. Get it up there, kid. Like I said, that's why I never reviewed it as a whole, because I could not, in full conscience, sit here and go, "Oh, this is okay." No, it's not. It's not. Like, I'm sorry, don't buy this unless, like I said, unless you were just gonna have Dinobots separately. Cool. But if you were thinking about combining that, don't do it to yourself, because you're gonna look at it every day and be like, "Why?" And then people are gonna come in your room and look at that and like, "Why? What is that? what is this abomination?"
That's a nice looking GoBot you have there.
Really, like it's a GoBot. Oh no, that's doing disrespect to GoBots. Come on, they're making some good GoBots nowadays.
There was. All right, moving on. Number 9. What is your thoughts on the Transformers social community, i.e., YouTube, Facebook, etc.? How we all get together now, and do you have any special shout-outs?
Well, of course, my boy Patriot Prime right here. You know, like I said, you and I remember when you were just a little wee one, and my guys in the sanctuary. Like I interact with a lot of people, not just in the Transformers community, but just to stick to your question. Positive. There's my homegirl Angie, aka Elita One from the Autobot family on Facebook. She's one of those people that, like, is one of the reasons I do this. She's new to Transformers, so she's out there. She's wanting to learn about new figures and Transformers, and it's like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know, there's someone out there that wants to get involved, so why not help her out? Why not show her the way? You know, and I tell her, here, start with G1 and then work your way down. Don't start here and then go backwards. Start from the beginning. That way you get a good sense of where you're going, and if you're ready. If you can handle, like I said, I watch G1 now as an adult, and yes, some of it is ridiculous, but I get it because I remember watching it as a kid, and even then I kind of like, this is kind of weird, but I still got it. But it's like, if you can handle G1, then you're ready for everything else that comes after, even the base stuff. But it'll give you a better sense of why Bay is so polarizing, because he took something that was so easy and tried to make it difficult. Like, Transformers is not hard. It's not hard to do. It's paste and repeat, and somehow he messed that up. Like, seriously, like, that's why I didn't go see Bumblebee. I know everybody goes, but Bay didn't make it. It still stinks of Bay. Okay? There's still a little bit of Bay in it. I have not seen it. I mean, I've heard good things. I've heard, from some people it's good, some it's bad. I think I've seen the best part was the opening sequence, because they plastered that all over social media. So that opening sequence, which a lot of people who told me, like, that's probably the best part of the movie. And I saw that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that. Why didn't we get that? And why did it take this long to get that? Because that's all I ever wanted was that.
Well, like, if you remember when it first
look like the characters they're supposed to be. Like, I see him and I go, oh, that is Shockwave, that is Soundwave, that is Prime, RC. I'm like, Wheeljack, Cliff Jumper, you all look like what you're like as a child. That when I thought about it in live action, like, that's what I saw in my imagination, my little 8-year-old brain. When I thought, what would a Transformer look like in real life? It looked like that. Not the stuff that came before it. Not the mash of metal and whatever. That, like, that Soundwave looked like a Soundwave. Not the thing sucking on a satellite in space or some kind of fancy car. No, something that looked like it would transform into a tape deck machine. That's the sound wave. The shockwave with one eye and not something riding a goddamn sandworm. No, that, you know, Seekers look like Seekers. Even Blitzwing, who looks like Starscream, still looked like something that I recognized. So I saw the best part of Bumblebee.
You'll enjoy it. I saw it 3 times. Granted, Dylan wanted to go, so who am I to argue with a 4-year-old?
Hey, listen, kid likes what he likes.
That he does.
Though, I mean, I'll eventually catch it when it's like, you know, on demand or DVD, but I'm at this point now, I have to speak with my wallet. Like, I know you can do better. So, I know it made some money, and, you know, John Cena and all that, but, again, you know, like I said, I'm not hating on it. Like I always say, you know, as much as I have a opinion about the Bayformers, there are people out there that like it. And again, if you're about Transformers, then you're still okay with me. Sure, I have my judgment, but I'm not going to knock you for liking Transformers, and we're friends. Okay, we can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we like Transformers. So
because you always got to keep in mind that Bayformers is somebody's G1.
It is. It's just same way Beast Wars was, and the Unicron trilogies is always going to be someone's G1. So that's why, like I said, even though some of it's not the best, I still recognize for what it does. It keeps the franchise alive.
Yep, like we said, 35 years.
You know.
All right, my friend.
All that. It's like I said, it has its place in history. Yeah, I show my age. I'm a G1er, you know, to the day I die. But that's because I was there when it first happened. But I've lived long enough to see the progression, and hopefully, again, knock on wood, I get to see it, you know, for another 35 years.
Amen.
You know, so.
All right, last question. Do you have any channel goals for yourself? And I already know the answer to this. And where can my viewers find you? Plug yourself. This is your moment to shine.
Again, just want to thank you again for having me here, man. Like I said, I think what you're doing is cool. Real quick, what made you call it the SITREP?
Situational report, military.
See, someone told me that, but you know, I wasn't sure, so I had to ask.
And
it's how you learn.
I had to be unique. I mean, like you talked about, you want to do something that separates you from the rest, and everybody does their live shows. I did the one with Deluxe like you did. He calls his around 30 minutes. It never is. I think each one goes an hour plus. So I love the interaction, and I was trying to think, what can I do? But I had to keep within my Patriot Prime and military theme. And I thought, SITREP, situational report. 2 Transformer fans giving a situational report on the franchise.
That works, man. Stay in your wheelhouse out there. You can't go wrong with that. But what I like to see for myself, right now I'm sitting on like 340 subs, and every day I look at that and I'm amazed like that I even got that many. You know, because like I said, I do something that everybody, like a lot of people do, and yeah, I do my own style. I'm just happy to have 300. Like, would I like to have more? Sure, but it definitely kind of validates what you do and makes you feel good. But, you know, I also like making sure that I give out quality content. Like, I want every day when I sit here and make a video, the best part for me is the editing and putting it together, because I learn new skills every time. Like, I mean, if you've watched from my first video to my latest video, I'm always trying something new. The progression of what I've done is night and day compared to my first video. My first video, I was just holding the camera and it's shaky, and this is the worst thing you ever see. No intro, no outro, no nothing. You look at the one I just put out now, it's like, oh my God, the editing is smooth, the intro, the music, everything. And I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning, and that's the best part of doing it, and just having fun with it. Like I said, I enjoy these figures. I enjoy sharing my collection. You know, I don't see myself as the type like, oh, I got to get the newest one and be the first one to be out there. No, I'm going to review the figure that I feel that if you can still get this figure and if it's worth your hard-earned money, pick it up. And if it's not, pass. You know, that's how I look at it, especially like you. You know, you review classic figures that would probably be almost impossible for some of them to find, but, you know, there are people out there that go out there looking for those figures, that search for those holy grails. And it's like, there's someone for everybody. And like, I always look at it, just because a figure is 1 year old or 10 years old, it's new to somebody. It's new to somebody who just now is finding out about this. Because believe it or not, there are some people who don't know half of this exists. Like my girlfriend, like when we started dating, she knew none of this. And she'll come into the room and she'll be like she's still bewildered, like she can't believe that this is all a real thing. Like, yes, it is. Yes, there is a Santa Claus. It's real, you know. And it's just that's the enjoyment I get from doing the review. Like, you know what, this is, you know, I got nieces and nephews, and I like to try to put them on. Like, I want them to become, like, I buy them gifts. Like, here's some Transformers. It's here. And then it's like, Uncle Dave, you always give us this. Take it. Take the Transformers.
I love bringing people into my room, man. They'll come in here and they're just amazed. I'm like, yeah, a lot of years into this, but keep your hands in your pockets. You look with your eyes and not your hands.
People come in, like some of her friends, she'll bring her friends over and they'll come into the room and they all take pictures. It's like, yeah, you can take all the pictures you want, just keep your damn hands to yourself.
My wife had one of her friends come here one day. I forget what happened. I was at work, Lisa was off, so her friend comes here and she had to do some web seminar thing. So she's sitting up in here using my cam, and when her meeting started, the first thing she had to do was explain the background that all of her people were listening. Where the hell are you?
Like, are you in the Toy Store?
All right, my friend, now I want you to plug yourself. You tell my people where to find you and what you do. I know you do the Transformer reviews. You're doing a wrestling channel now, right? Is that a separate channel from what you got, or just like a different place?
Okay, well, let me start. Smith's Super Awesome Reviews. That's the main.
Now, real quick.
Transformers. You'll find the Marvel Legends. I do some video game play. I know you've seen my Shotgun Smith series, which is more is coming. Trust me, more is coming, because I got plenty of recorded footage. But that was, I just wanted to see if anybody would like some of that stuff.
That was funny.
Yes, so that's coming and plenty more. You know, so Smith's Super Awesome Review. Now, my wrestling channel I do with another YouTuber who does Toy Channel. He's Mattitude22. Him and I are a kindred spirit. We both love wrestling. We'll talk offline about wrestling all day. So we decided to start a wrestling channel. It's called Clickbait Wrestling. Yeah, it's kind of a play on words.
I dig it.
It's Clickbait Wrestling. We do a live show every Friday, right before, and I'll get into that next. We do a live show every Friday around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You know, so definitely check that out, especially if you're about wrestling. We're gonna have more content. Like right now, we're just doing the live show, but right now we're currently working on doing some just recorded videos for the content for the channel. So that's in the works. And then right after Clickbait Wrestling is Spaghetti and Friends, which you can find on the Sanctuary, which is another channel that I kind of co-run with Mattitude22, Jimmy Lee, Super Mario Zilla. It's just a bunch of YouTubes that we got together. We do a Facebook group, and it's basically the whole concept of my channel in a whole of we just try to build a community. So, like, if you like figures, if you like anything pop culture, if you're into Transformers, Marvel, Dragon Ball Z, whatever, DC, if you're into figures and collecting, the Sanctuary is one of those type of places where you can come show your love, share your figures, your collection. If you have a YouTube channel, you can promote yourself. Like I said, when you first got on, I was like, hey, come on here, put your stuff out there, bro. Put your name out there. If you needed to just promote, this is the place. And we have a YouTube channel called The Sanctuary. And every Friday, right after Clickbait, so go to the Clickbait channel first, then come to the Sanctuary channel for Spaghetti and Friends toy shows. We talk new figures. We have our top 10 polls that we've been doing. We have discussions, and basically we just talk pop culture. We talk toys. We talk movies, and just, you know, have a good time. You know,
a nice escape from the real world.
Yeah.
That doesn't involve anything illegal.
Okay, I mean, like, since I've been doing YouTube, I've met some of the greatest people. Like I say, like you asked before about the community. There is, and like any community, there's always going to be that one or two few people that are kind of toxic, like they're in it for the wrong reasons. But from my perspective, like everybody that I've associated with has been really good people. Like they're willing to help out whenever they can. I'll throw out my man, Mr. V. Mr. V is probably the biggest fan of everybody's channel out here. Like the dude, he shows up to all my live streams. We do Spaghetti and Friends, he's there. We do clickbait, he's there. The dude is just, I call him, he puts the V in MVP. Okay, like he's just like a cool dude, and he has his own channel too, Mr. V's Gaming Toys. He just hit 300. Like I said, the dude's a boss, but it's that kind of community where, like I said, we all look out for each other. We all, you know, give each other encouragement. We all support each other. No matter what it is you're collecting, it's a family. We're all under that same umbrella. And what's so wrong with that? You know, like I said, people from the outside can look at it and go, oh, man babies and man child or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you see that because you choose to live this way. But guess what? We're not alone here. We're not. It's not just the two of us in on this. There's a whole group of people from various age ranges, men and women. You know, whatever your sexuality is, like you like this toy, you like this franchise. There is a community out there for you. So don't think you're alone. Trust me, you're not. I thought that one time, but boy, was I wrong.
And it's amazed me with the groups too. Like everybody with it, I really found out when I went to my first convention. You know, everybody hears about a toy collector, and you immediately picture the guy from The Simpsons who lives in his mom's basement. But you find out it's everyday people. It's you and me. It's blown my mind how many military veterans are Transformer collectors. That, like me, you know, I just got into it when I got back from overseas. Granted, I've been a fan since '84, but I really got into it when I got back home. And just everyday people that you wouldn't expect do this. And of course, now it's cool to announce it.
Like my brother, he's an Army veteran. He's a big Lego head, plus Star Wars. So he's got a whole shrine of just Lego Star Wars things where, same like me, you can look at it, but don't touch it. You know what I'm saying? He's all about that Lego life. And it's amazing to me, like I said before, like, you know, I've shown people some of my stuff, like some of the photos I take in my channel. And they'll kind of scoff for a minute, but then they'll come back to me later and go, yo, man, what was the name of that Transformer that did this? And, you know, I'm sitting there just spitting out names. They go, yeah, that's the one. I remember that. I still love that. Like, because everyone has it. It's just nowadays you're taught that when you get a certain age, you're supposed to let those things behind you. And, yes, some people do. And some of those, like us, choose, like, no, I'm an adult, and I'm an adult enough that I can afford to live this life. You know, I pay my bills, I pay my taxes, and whatever little side pocket money I have, this is what I do with it. I don't do drugs. I'm not spending it on booze or hanging out on the streets. No, my money goes to Transformers. You know,
the way I look at it, there is no difference in all of this that's on my wall, that what's on your wall, than if it was NFL shit, if it was basketball stuff, race car. No difference whatsoever. You like what you like, collect what you like, and enjoy it. Be yourself, you know?
Hey, listen, that's how I look at it. Like I said, I got Transformers, I got me, like I said, Marvel, I collect wrestling belts, I do a lot of Transformers. I might have to give you this title because you've been killing it, but
I love that. That is awesome.
I might have to relinquish this title to you, man, because you're killing it right now. But yeah, this is that life, man. It's like you said, do what makes you happy. You know, don't let someone tell you that what you do is childish. You know, it's not there. Those people who say that to you, they're just mad because they can't do it. That's all that is.
Yep.
Because they wish they could have a room full of toys. I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people, if they can get whatever they loved as a child back in their possession, they would stop at nothing to get it. And luckily for us, we've had that luxury. Like when I found this, like I said, I stumbled. I was like you. I would collect the Hasbro stuff, and then I found out about like the Masterpiece of third party. And then, like I said, like the Pandora's box just opened, and I'm just like, you mean they make stuff that looks like things in the cartoons? Like, where do I sign up? And I can afford it? Please take my money. Take my money. And that was it.
Eating this week.
Look here, that's why they make ramen. Okay.
I'm alive today thanks to ramen. Ramen and grilled cheeses.
As long as they have ramen, like you said, cheese and bread, I think I can make do. Once in a while, I'll get some meat, but we can make do. But yeah, I wouldn't trade this for nothing in the world. Like I said, I have fun doing it. I have fun collecting it. I have fun with the people that I've met. Like I said, you and I, outside of YouTube, we talk, you know, on Facebook and whatever. Like I said, we're from all different places, all over the world. You know, I got friends in the UK, Canada, Australia, you know, Thailand, all over the world. And the one thing that's universal is we collect figures, we collect toys, we collect Transformers, and we can sit there and talk about it all day. You know, that new Bumblebee dropped, everybody's talking. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of the memes are funny as hell. It's just, have you seen the one where all the Autobots are laughing at him?
Yeah, and he turns around. Uh-oh, I've lost you. Your sound is gone. Yeah, you're nothing now. I don't know what's happened. Well, we're pretty much wrapped up anyway. I know you can still hear me, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to promote David now. His channel is Smith's Super Awesome Reviews. I'm going to link it in the description of this video. Not sure what happened to us here. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Stop by, check out Smith's channel. He's a great guy, as you've seen. I highly recommend him. This is Patriot Pride, signing out. Hooah! Hey, I really appreciate you guys stopping by my channel. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out some of my other videos that I've done on Generation 1 Transformers, Modern Era Transformers, and Toy Hacks Retro Label sets. Once again, this is Patriot Pride.